welcome to podcast YY Japan. Yay! Hello, my name is Meshida. I'm a Japanese stand-up comedian. Unfortunately, in Japan, people call me unemployed. So, this podcast will introduce funny and interesting side of Japan.
Yay!
And today, I have a special guest all the way from New Zealand, Kiwi girl, Rai-chan.
Hi guys! So today I'm all the way from Edogawa-ku. I'm living here in Tokyo, but I was born in England. I grew up in New Zealand, as you can tell from my voice. So as long as I don't have to count over 5 today, we should stay nice and PG friendly. And I've been in Tokyo now for about 5 years. Nice to meet you all.
Really? 5 years?
Yeah, I'm getting older.
No. I think you were living here almost 7 years. No?
5 in Tokyo, and then about 2 in Hiroshima before that.
Oh my god, why you didn't count up Hiroshima? You don't like Hiroshima? Come on.
I didn't know it was relevant.
Yeah. I think I know because you have a birthday. Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. You were 21?
Yes, forever 21.
Oh, forever 21. Actual age is?
33.
Oh, 33. Oh, now you're my senpai. I am 32. I'm younger than you.
You suck.
Oh my god, you are senpai. Senpai means like, how can I say? Senior.
Yeah, senior. Great. Thanks for that. I'm a senior now. I'll be getting my old age ticket on buses soon.
So anyway, Rai-chan is like mainly you are like what do you do? Like as an entertainer in Japan.
Mainly, I do sort of entertainment tours. It's a bit of a weird area, but I've sort of keep ending up doing all these tours where I'm the tour guide, sort of making jokes and giving information. And there's some actors who run around dressed as ninja and samurai or historical people.
Yeah, I know because we met there.
Yeah.
I'm one of the MCs.
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of mental training for me. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's very tough. I mean, first we have to talk in Japanese and English, both bilingual, tour guide. Look at my English.
You did very well.
And sometimes like attendees or audience are all Chinese. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they can understand Japanese and English. Just we say, ninja, ka.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, attendees are not interested in like listening to MC. They just look at outside and ignore us. It was very, very tough.
It was really hard when it was just like a Japanese couple, because even if they found it funny, they were often too shy to laugh. So you'd be like, look, the ninja! And they would just smile at you politely and nod their head like, you're trying, good job. It was very supportive, but very difficult.
Yeah, and problem was sometimes we have a good actors, a ninja and samurai. They are performing at Disneyland, at USJ, Universal Studio Japan in Osaka. They have good skills, and then they can, how can I say English, like move quickly and acrobatic performance
and ad-lib things like that.
Things. But sometimes the company's staff, employees, acted like a ninja or samurai. They didn't do anything. Even though we say, hey, look at ninja, hey, they're just working. And some stuff are a little bit fat, and then it's like a comedy. Yeah.
I mean, we're meant to be making jokes. At least it gave us a lot to make jokes about.
Yeah, the problem is like I can make a joke in Japanese, but I can translate it in English. Yeah, that's kind of very difficult, Yeah.
Your joke is just a whole thing in Japanese, everyone laughs, and then you're like, I said something funny.
Yeah, definitely I often did that. Yeah. So, and I know many Japanese people ask you and foreigners. Can I ask?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, do you remember this podcast title?
Why Japan?
Yes, why did you come to Japan?
So, I originally came to Japan because I liked visual kei.
You mean Japanese say visual kei band?
Yeah.
Like, what is a favorite? Like a famous one. No, don't say indies one. I can't understand.
Penicillin? Ex-Japan?
Ex-Japan. Maybe, I think Ex-Japan is quite a famous in foreign countries.
That's why I actually don't really listen to Ex-Japan. But if you say Ex-Japan, people might have heard of it. So I tend to say it as an example.
I know in Japan, some people really love visual kei. They're crazy about visual, but it's not a major. It's a kind of a niche in Japan.
Yeah, it's very niche in New Zealand.
I know. That's why you came here.
Yes, I ran away to Japan.
Okay, when you found visual kei?
When I was 16.
16? Oh, your parents are crying. 16. Why did you find it? Internet? Because 16, we are almost same age. You were older than me, but same generation. So internet?
Yeah, I liked anime. And then I think from anime I got into dirangure.
Dirangure? Oh, sorry, I don't know.
They're in America now, I think. Diru. It's another band.
And it's American anime?
No, it's a band. Visual kei.
Visual kei.
And I got into dirangure. And then I think back then it was the time when you had, like YouTube, you could only play like one song at a time. And it took ages to download. So I didn't have any music and I couldn't buy any CDs in New Zealand. But I got really into the aesthetic and thought it looked really pretty. So I told my parents I was going to do a school exchange to Japan.
Okay.
And they were very surprised.
Yeah.
But I think they just thought it'll be good for her to see the world. Travel.
Okay, your parents recognize Japan as a world. See the world.
See something of the world anyway.
Unique world, maybe.
I mean, I was in New Zealand in the very bottom corner, so I think they were just happy I left and went somewhere.
Bottom corner. Okay, English lesson. What is a bottom corner?
Like the bottom corner on maps.
In the far east, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know, but in Japan, of course, when I studied like geographic, always Japan is the center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why we think of Japan as the center of the world. But when I went to the UK, I saw the map. Oh my God! Japan is far east and very small, like a Chinese country's shit,
Yeah. I'm used to being on tiny little islands. It's either here or New Zealand right down in the corner. So.
Okay. But New Zealand is very, very small country. Yeah,
and not many people though, so there's a lot more space than Japan.
Yeah. Many comedians make fun of New Zealand about like a sheep. Is okay my pronunciation?
Sheep.
Anyway, Lai-chan is my private English teacher.
Please don't tell everyone that.
And I have a YouTube channel. I try to upload my video once a week. I try to introduce hidden side of culture of Japan. So it means like a sexual culture. And yeah, he always gave me amazing dirty jokes. So if you are interested in that, please check out my YouTube channel. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say any of the jokes that aren't funny are mine.
I think Lai-chan is an amazing English teacher because, guys, listen to my English. This perfect English accent. Yeah, this is all her fault.
I'm feeling very attacked right now.
But you said like you came to Japan. First, you visited in Hiroshima. You stayed in Hiroshima.
First, I did a 3-month exchange to Kumamoto.
3 months when you were 16.
17.
17. At that time, could you speak Japanese?
Not at all.
Then you came here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's a typical foreigner.
Everyone had to struggle to understand me because, like, want to eat tabetai, I would be like, taberu hoshi. Nomu hoshi, want to drink.
That's my English. Okay, did you enjoy?
Yeah, I really liked it. I didn't understand a lot of what was going on, I think.
But you mean like nice. You joined a class, no?
Yeah, but I didn't really have to do much. I just sort of sat there because I couldn't understand most of it.
Yeah. Just sat, in the class, Same as normal student.
Yeah.
You know.
I was awake, so I was beating most of them.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Then you went back to New Zealand one?
Yeah. So then I did a working holiday in Osaka.
Ah.
And then I went back because I couldn't get the job I wanted. And I studied linguistics. And then I started teaching English in Hiroshima. And then I had 6 months left on my visa. So I came to Tokyo to find hopefully a non-teaching job at the time. And I sort of worked in bars in Kabukicho for a little bit. And then...
Can I ask something? What did you do?
Drinking.
Kabukicho is I think among foreigners, it's famous as a red light district. But there are many bars and restaurants. Yeah.
I worked in a supper club. So generally hosts and hostesses would come after work, often bringing customers.
Well, what is the name? Supper class?
Supper club?
Supper club? It's
サッパークラブ
Japanese.
という種類。
Okay. サッパークラブって日本語?
そうそうそう。
Oh my god. I can't understand Japanese too.
So it was lots of nomikoru and games until drinking songs and games until morning for hosts and hostesses after work.
Okay. You worked there.
So I drank a lot. And then I found a job in an information center.
Wow. Foreigners work in information center.
Yes, I get told that so often.
For foreigners, like foreign tourists.
And for Japanese people.
Oh my god.
Except they all say, like you did, having a foreign person tell me about Nihonbashi is so strange.
That's so strange, yeah. Yeah, but so you mean you have been working there almost 5 years now?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 years. So far, it's good?
I tried to quit after 3 years, but we just keep not having enough staff. So I'm still there 5 years later. It's really good for the first 2 years. And then you get really sick of everyone coming up to you and saying, excuse me, a foreigner. Never mind. And just walking off.
Because it's all foreigners' fault, especially Western people. Western people in Japan cannot speak Japanese. We have a stereotypical image.
The stereotype. I mean, I speak Japanese very well, thank you very much.
So maybe you should you have track card or a flag. I can speak Japanese.
But I mean, what more do they want? I say いらっしゃいませ、伺いいたします。何か探しですか? And they go, 大丈夫 and walk off. I'm speaking Japanese. There's only so much I can do.
Okay. So, and except for that, shitty information center job, what you mean you were sometimes work as an entertainer?
Yeah, so I also do tours in English through that job. And so then I found another job that was doing the bus tour that we did.
But it was gone.
Yes, it's gone. But...
Financial crisis. It's all our fault. We are very bad MC maybe. And then just usually audience are 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But we rent a big bus, for one day. So it's a kind of. But we did it almost 2 years.
Yeah, and then after that, I've sort of got some similar jobs through people connected to it.
Oh, really?
So I had a theatrical night tour in Ginza.
Okay, I can't pronounce theatrical.
Theatrical.
Theatrical. What does it mean in Japanese?
To do with the theatre?
Theatre. Acting, okay.
So theatrical night tour. And that was again 2 people time travelled from the 1920s to join my tour kind of thing.
Oh, how many times did you do that?
It was just a 1 week tour.
You record it, upload to YouTube? No?
No, but we had all the television crews coming. So it was on NHK and it was a new style of theatre aimed at foreigners, but only Japanese people joined.
Oh, but you mean you were on the national TV?
I think
Amazing.
so.
Why did you come today? This, very amateur podcast as a guest, first guest.
I wish I'd been on TV under my own name, but it was just the character. It was really awkward. The only clip my boyfriend's mom saw of that was me hugging the man in the tour.
You were cheating.
She's like, "Oh, I saw you hugging the guy on there." I was like, "Yeah, it was part of the story."
Yeah. But I think recently you also kind of joined a kind of castle tour. I saw it on the internet.
Yeah,
on
Odawara.
Odawara.
But I was more the MC, and it was a little bit harder because I had to pretend I didn't know anything. So there was a tour guide, and everything people asked me, I had to just pass to the tour guide.
Yeah.
But the reception wasn't the best, so it was very difficult. It would have been easier if I could just talk.
It's in English.
Yeah.
So how about like audience or like foreigners? English audience?
I don't think so. I think a lot of it was sort of friends and family of the people.
I know that's a typical event in Japan for foreigners.
I think though, this is my view on this. I think Japan is very bad at marketing to foreigners.
Yes.
They don't know how to do it. So my actual foreign friends have never heard of these things going on, and they're aimed like at Japanese people in a like bring your foreign friends kind of way. They never actually market them to English-speaking foreigners traveling to the country.
Yeah, I know because some of my Japanese friends organized events for foreigners. They always ask me, please introduce your foreign friends,
We had there was a show at one of the theaters in Nihonbashi, and we went to the press event, and it was all in Japanese.
Wow.
But it was marketed as like, language doesn't matter. Japanese people and foreigners can both enjoy this show. And the whole press event was Japanese only. Like,
wow.
They obviously didn't know how to get that out to people, I think.
That's the same as my open mic. So actually, like sometimes I organized open mic, English open mic, stand-up open mic. Oh, later, sometimes you came here and perform. Of course, now under this pandemic, I stopped organizing it. But I think end of this month, I will start it again. Please come.
Depending on Corona.
Yeah,
I don't want to die.
Okay.
Japan is doing very well at hiding their numbers, I think. I don't think they're necessarily dealing with it very well. I think they're doing a good job of making it look like they're dealing with it very well.
No comment. So, so my open mic actually I try to invite foreigners, but sometimes all Japanese audience.
I always thought that's why you held it in hostels. So you could just catch tourists who are like
of course.
traveling on the day.
Of course. But yeah, I think sometimes all Japanese audience and all Japanese comedian in English.
Yeah.
It's weird.
There's been days like that.
But I'm very comfortable because, all comedians' English is like a bad. It makes me so good.
It's a safe space.
Safe space. Yeah. But on the other hand, Japanese people are really strict about Japanese people's English. Because our educations like focus on grammar, listening, like a more kind of subject. That's a subject we studied English. So for example, recently I upload some joke on my TikTok. And some Japanese people started watching my TikTok. Unfortunately, they always mention about my English vocabulary, pronunciation. Yeah, I always say, "Oh, she's my English teacher," and put you a link. It's all her fault.
I'm never making a TikTok.
So, what have we talked about? Yeah.
What have we talked about? We were talking about why did I come to working in information center.
So you have sometimes you work as entertainer. So okay, so now you have been living here almost 7 years.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between visiting and living in Japan?
I think when visiting you only see the good parts.
Totally agree.
It's probably true for any country, but especially when you visit, like your whole trip is just like, okay, I have to see Disneyland, I have to see Disney Sea, I have to see Akihabara. Whereas when you work here, it's much more like every single morning I have to stand on a crowded train to get to my workplace. And, you know, there's that daily life part that comes in.
Yeah, especially I think when it comes to Japan, forum, otaku. Anyway, we respect otaku. Otaku means, how can I say English? It's English now, otaku?
It's kind of English now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
someone
yeah.
who's a really big fan of something like a
watch
geek.
a lot of manga and, you know, visual kei-ban.
Yeah.
And then they are dreaming of living in Japan. Maybe first 2-3 months, it's okay.
I think longer than that.
Okay.
I think a lot of it also has to do with your Japanese levels. The more you learn Japanese, the more you realize people aren't always being nice to you.
Yeah, when, you know, foreigners realize our honne.
Yes.
Oh, you are English, you are Japanese, this is so good. Oh.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Once you can tell the difference between tatema and honne, that's when you start to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But I think Western foreigners have a privilege in Japan.
Have a what, sir?
Privilege. It's like my
Oh,
pronounce.
privilege?
Privilege.
Privilege.
Okay, thank you, English teacher. Amazing. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have privilege. It's sort of, it's still discrimination, but it's more discrimination by othering. So it's not people yelling at you in the street or telling you to go home as such. It's more just, you'll always be left out. You know, like if at work there's sort of a meeting, no one would dare say anything if you just didn't show up. Whereas if a Japanese person didn't do it, it would be a big thing because you're meant to be part of the group. But they don't expect you to be part of the group, which can get tiring after a while. You're always like the other, the foreigner. It's like the token foreigner sometimes. I think I've been invited to gokon or dating parties just as sort of like a token foreigner.
And to foreigner, you pretended you couldn't speak
No,
Japanese.
I spoke Japanese. I think it was just so that my female friends could be like, look, we'll bring a foreigner to get more guys to come.
Okay.
There's sort of that you're always slightly different, which, you know, it's not a bad thing, but it does get tiring.
Yeah, I understand. But I think sometimes we need foreigners because, for example, when it comes to working, the company, even though, for example, we have a lot of meetings, Japanese people can't say that, you know. Yeah, because one time, when I used to be a typical Japanese employee, but I said to my boss, I think our meeting time is too long. It is inefficient. And that's my joke, but my boss said, okay, let's have a meeting about that. Yeah, and Japanese employees are very loyal. It's okay, loyal. And always, you know, try to be the team. They don't want to say kind of their opinion. Yeah. So, but foreigners.
Yeah. We got paid leave at my workplace because we were with a temp agency and we changed to working for my company full time.
You say that?
We said we get paid leave legally. We should get UQ. We have to. And our manager said, yeah, but if we give you paid leave, we have to give it to everyone. And the Japanese staff don't really take it. And we were just like, that's not our fault. Yeah, you have to offer it to everyone. It's the law. And so now everyone at our workplace takes paid leave every year. And they have like, you have this many days. And it was just because we're like, I'm sorry, no, this is the law. We get paid leave.
Yeah. I have same experience because, you know, I'm a kind of professional comedian maybe, but in the morning sometimes I worked at the gym. So actually we don't have a paid holiday. I mean, we have a right. So actually, and then recently, one guy, he is like from England, and then but he speaks Japanese very well. And then we ask him, please say. Yeah. But he's a British, you know, same as us, you know. No, I can do that. We need American.
I have to admit, I think I only managed to talk about paid leave because there was another staff member who was Russian.
Yeah.
She was very direct.
Oh, Russia is amazing.
If it's
American,
just up to
Russian,
me, I have trouble.
Yeah. Maybe you just say say to her, and I have a travel, and then she just
Gets
claim-
everything done.
Yeah. So I think we need more foreigners.
I mean, it's a good way to make changes to...
Yeah, especially now, we have to change, seniority system, and especially big company, many old people still have a power.
Yeah.
There's, there's kind of like souls are like old fashioned.
Yeah. I think I always get the image that it's sort of like, it's really hard when you're at the bottom. And so then by the time people get older, they get this sort of, it's my turn now.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I actually had this at my university in New Zealand because half the students were Japanese. And the first year students would hang out with us. And the second year, they'd sort of be friends with us, but often do their own things. And anyone who hung out with us too much was sort of more the Kiwi student group and wouldn't go to Japanese parties and things. And then by third year, the Japanese people didn't really hang out with us much because they were senpai now. And they had the kohai doing as they said. Like there was sort of this hierarchy through my university.
Sorry. Mainly you studied in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Why many Japanese students there?
It was actually a university created by a Japanese group.
Oh my God.
I think it was like, basically, if you pay enough, you can study in New Zealand kind of thing.
You are like a Sakura student kind of. You know Sakura means?
Yeah,
Japanese,
paid sort of to be there.
Yeah.
We all got scholarships.
Yeah, but I understand because it's hard work to talk, with Japanese people in English,
We didn't. We all studied Japanese.
Okay.
So after 4 years, a lot of the students there still couldn't speak English because they did the whole Japanese, hanging out with Japanese people at parties. 4 years in New Zealand, no English.
Oh, really?
Some of them couldn't speak it at all.
That university is terrible.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say where I went.
So, okay. So 7 years passed.
Yeah.
So I know you can speak Japanese well, more than my English, and so what is still, for example, now you realize a lot of like a bad side, but still you have a good side. So, can you tell me what is a good side and bad side in Japan? What do you think about it?
I think there's a lot of good things. It's actually kind of like my mum said to me before I moved. She sort of said, wherever you live, you basically just work and then go home. So if you end up your life is just working, going home, if you don't make an effort to go out, then you only really see the bad side. Because often, unless you love your job, work is a bad side. Because it's very hierarchy and strong hierarchy. Like at my workplace, our manager said, we'll be getting a new manager soon. And we went, oh, a girl or a guy? And he was like, otoko desho, ha ha ha. We were like, no, not desho. It could be a woman. What is this? Like,
Yeah. But on the other hand, because, as a manager, maybe they have to work a lot, kind of. And then it's easy kind of like put a man there and then force them to work so hard.
I mean, I don't know if it's that much easier. Our manager keeps having to go to hospital because he gets sick.
Yeah.
That's not saving you any money either.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So Japan, that's one of the downsides is that if you don't like your workplace and then everywhere you go, everyone will try and speak to you in English. So you really need a job you enjoy. Or on the weekends, you need to go out and like see the reason you came to Japan. So if you love Akihabara, go there on the weekends. Like I'll go to Harajuku like once every 5 months and I'll just be like, oh, I love Japan. But then I'm lazy and I spend the rest of my time on my couch watching Netflix. And it doesn't matter which country I'm in, really.
Yeah.
Like, but for people who are actually not lazy like me and go places, like there's wonderful skiing, there's wonderful onsen, travel is amazing. Especially living in Tokyo, you can go to a different area for like anything. So if you want to go out all night and drink with hosts, you'd go to Kabukicho. If you want to go out all night and be hit on by drunk salarymen trying to speak English, you'd go to Shibuya or Roppongi, but that's usually a bit sleazier. If you want to go somewhere really traditional, you could go to Asakusa, see the shrines. Like, there's always something really close by. But of course, the downside to that is that Tokyo isn't really like a little community. So when I think of Wellington, I went to uni in Wellington and everything's within walking distance. If you want to go to the library, if you want to take yoga. Whereas here, like if I want to go to my dancing class, I have to catch 2 trains.
2 trains?
Yeah, because I have to change lines because there's no straight line.
There are many dance classes. Maybe you just choose to go there.
I think that's the other hard thing about Tokyo is there are so many good options. You end up trying to choose the best, even if it's further away. You know, like...
That's the opinion from the New Zealand guy.
Yes. You've given me too many options, Japan. I don't know how to deal with it. Like, first world problems here.
Yeah, I know. It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
There's a lot of...
Yeah.
Trying to find, like, a dentist recently, and just all of them, you're like... Do I spend that much money and go to the very best? Or do I spend less money and go to an average one? Or like,
yeah,
does distance matter? You know, there's a lot of options, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
but it can also mean that everything's sort of spread out a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
It's harder to go just one small area. So there's sort of, I mean, there's downsides and good sides to living everywhere, I think. Japan is wonderful.
Why you will move back to New Zealand?
Yeah.
You said, you know,
why? I'm moving back in August. I think my current job has just... A lot of my customers are old. They haven't seen a foreigner before. And after 5 years of it, I think I'm just really jaded. Like, any comment, and I'm like, is this because I'm a foreigner? Whereas it's not. Sometimes it's just a simple comment, but I'm instantly like, why are you saying that to me? So I'm taking a break. I'm going to go away for a year or 2.
So
and then...
you were tired. Can you use chopstick?
Yeah.
Oh, your Japanese is so great. Oh, how did you study Japanese?
The one I find weird is so many Japanese people say to me, oh, perra, perra, and do that tongue roll.
Eh?
Perra, they're like perra, perra.
Pera, 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 pera?
No, but they actually full out roll the tongue and do like a sort of Spanish pronunciation of it. And I'm like sitting here going, I'm sorry, is my Japanese accent that bad? It's really weird, but they have this, you know, they'll put on sort of a English accent intentionally and try to speak katakana words. And you're just kind of like, can you just stop? I speak the language. Please stop. So I'm taking a 2-year break to sort of reset my mind. And then hopefully I can come back to Japan and just be like, oh my God, Akihabara, Harajuku, yay! Get back.
5 years later, oh, I have to go back.
Yeah. I'm like,
that's a good cycle.
We can just keep it going for a while. See, next time we'll move to a different country. Travel the world.
I totally understand because, you know, even though like I'm organizing a lot of comedy show, met a lot of foreigners, I always say, oh, your Japanese is so good. How did you study Japanese?
I know. They're like, why is your Japanese so good? And I end up now just saying like, because I studied? Like, what do you think? I just woke up like this and I could speak it?
But I know because some foreigners like you, smart foreigners, can speak Japanese well. You understand our Japanese culture. They think, they said, you know, why Japanese people treated me as a foreigner? I can speak Japanese. I have a Japanese boyfriend. But, Nai-chan, I really want to say, it's way better than treated as Japanese. It's very tough. You know? You have to really worry about peer pressure.
Yeah. I had an awesome lady in Osaka once who treated me like a Japanese person. A taxi was coming and I didn't know the name of the building I was in. So I like ran downstairs because the taxi was on the phone and it was written, but it was in kanji and I couldn't read it. So there was this random lady passing and I went, すいません、この漢字をなんて読むんですか? How do you read this kanji? And she just went, 靴履きなさい. Put some damn shoes on and walked off. And I was like, oh shit, sorry.
Okay, so Rai-chan, it's already time. So it's, you know, you are also a comedian, kind of. Maybe 30% comedian.
Yeah, my jokes are only 30% funny, guys.
Yeah. So, okay, end of this podcast, please give me your jokes about Japan. Give us. Okay.
Jokes about Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys probably know, you might have heard Japan's very eco-friendly, but it's not. Everything in Japan uses plastic. Plastic bottles, go to the supermarket, vegetables are wrapped in plastic, chocolate's wrapped in plastic, which is separately wrapped in plastic inside the packaging. In Japan, everything is wrapped in plastic, except Japanese guys' dicks.
Right, Jan, you know, we are very eco-friendly, more than Greta Thunberg. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having me.
So,
have you forgotten your ending?
Ending? No, just simple. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. So, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Why am I waving?